Are we recording? Oh, we are. Good morning. It's Christina again. I'm going to continue with this book, Start Where You Are, by Pema Chodron. And we had stopped at a meditation, the description of a meditation called Shamatha Vipashyna Meditation. I know that I'm mispronouncing a lot of these words incorrectly, and I really apologize. There's no, I don't know if there's a glossary in the back on how to pronounce the words. I haven't really looked. Maybe there is. But now is probably not the time to do that. So, okay, let's read about this meditation. In Shamatha Vipashyna Meditation, we sit upright with legs crossed and eyes open, hands resting on our thighs. Then we simply become aware of our breath as it goes in and out. I think I'm going to make a slight adjustment here. Pardon the webcam, it's not a very good one. I don't have one of those fancy Apple computers with the webcam, installed. So I have to buy it separately. Okay, here we go. Sorry. We shall continue this. All right. We simply become aware of our breath as it goes out. It requires precision to be right there with that breath. On the other hand, it's extremely relaxed and extremely soft, saying, be right there with the breath as it goes out, is the same thing as saying, be fully present. Be right there with the breath as it goes out is the same thing as saying, be fully present. Be right here with whatever is going on. Being aware of the breath as it goes out, we may also be aware of other things going on. Sounds on the street, the light on the walls. These things may capture our attention slightly, but they don't need to draw us off. We can continue to sit right here, aware of the breath. But being with the breath is only part of the technique. These thoughts that run through our minds continually are the other part. We sit here talking to ourselves. The instruction is that when you realize you've been thinking, you label it thinking. When your mind wanders off, you say to yourself, thinking. Whether your thoughts are violent or passionate or full of ignorance and denial, whether your thoughts are worried or fearful, whether your thoughts are spiritual thoughts, pleasing thoughts of how well you're doing, comforting thoughts, uplifting thoughts, whatever. Without judgment or harshness, simply label it all thinking. And do that with honesty and gentleness. The touch on the breath is light, only about 25% of the breath. Only about 25% of your awareness, rather, is on the breath. You're not grasping or fixating on it. You're opening, letting the breath mix with the space of the room, just letting your breath go out into space. Then there's something like a pause, a gap, until the next breath goes out again. While you're breathing in, there could be some sense of just opening and waiting. It's like pushing the doorbell and waiting for someone to answer. Then you push the doorbell again and wait for someone to answer. Then probably your mind wanders off and you realize you're thinking again at this point. use the labeling technique, thinking. It's important to be faithful to the technique. If you find that your labeling has a harsh, negative tone to it, as you're saying, damn it, that you're giving yourself a hard time, say it again and lighten up. Damn it. It's not like trying to down the thoughts as if they were clay pigeons. Instead, be gentle. Use the labeling part of the technique as an opportunity to develop softness and compassion for yourself. Use the labeling part of the technique as a way to develop softness and compassion for yourself. Anything that comes up is okay in the arena of meditation. The point is, you can see it honestly and make friends with it. Although it is embarrassing and painful, it is very healing to stop hiding from yourself. It is healing to know all the ways that you're sneaky, all the ways that you hide out, all the ways that you shut down, deny, hide, criticize, all your weird little ways. You can know all that with some sense of humor and kindness. By knowing yourself, you're coming to know humanness altogether. We are all up against these things. We are all in this together. So when you realize that you're talking to yourself, label it thinking. And notice your tone of voice. Let it be compassionate and gentle and humorous. Then you'll be changing old stuck patterns that are shared by the whole human race. And I don't know if that's true. I would imagine that there are some tribes deep in the Amazon, way off in some unknown part of the world that hasn't been raped and pillaged, that don't have any of these neuroses. This is primarily Western culture, I believe. Just an aside. So for us, compassion for others begins with kindness to ourselves. So that meditation is about being compassionate to yourself. Labeling what you're doing as thinking, being compassionate, having a sense of humor. And as usual, these excerpts are fairly short. I will read the Lojong practice next, perhaps tomorrow, the next day, or later on today, who knows, depending on my mood. Have a great day. It is January 10th, I believe, perhaps 11th or 12th, I'm not sure. I'm sort of getting into mid-January. All right, take care and practice compassion.